Hey guys, will AI craft cause the rise of more auteurs and AI auteurs? And what does that actually mean? So, in order to answer that question, let's first talk about what and how do we define auteur. Now, auteur is kind of it's kind of a more of a journalistic term in some ways, but here in Wikipedia, we're defining it as an artist with a distinctive approach, usually a film director, whose filmmaking control is so unbounded and personal that the director is likened to the author of the film, thus manifesting the director's unique style or a thematic focus. So like here's like some famous auteurs that you can think of, right? Wes Anderson especially I think is particularly like auteur-ish. And then we got a bunch of, Stanley Kubrick, Kurosawa, Orson Welles, Tarantino, Hitchcock, unfortunately all men in these examples. But and here, Google is defining it as an auteur is a filmmaker who is highly competent and an artist who wants to convey their vision, ideas, and emotions onto the screen. They are completely immersed in their films and have a recurring set of recognizable characteristics. Now, I think like auteurs aren't just like film people. Like I think Bjork is an example of an auteur as well. Although it's like associated with film, I get that, but like especially because film is kind of like this multidisciplinary art form, content form. But like I saw Bjork in concert, and like she's a kind of like an idiosyncratic auteur where she's like micromanaged every tiny aspect of her thing. I mean, I think Kendrick Lamar is also a bit of that as well, where he's micromanaged every bit of thing to in the videos and the films to the music to like all this kind of stuff. There's something very present with that, and where the the artist in a way is like closer to the actual tangible art in a certain way. Um, and and I'm sure there's a lot of caveats in here, but there's another way to think about this. Spectre created a new concept. Phil Spector is considered the first auteur among producers of popular music, so it also applies to music. The producer, as overall director of the creative process from beginning to end, he or she took control of everything, picked the artist, wrote or chose the material, supervised the arrangements, told the singers how to phrase, masterminded all phases of the recording process with the most painful attention to detail, and released the result on their own label. Now, I think definitely applies to Bjork. So I think it's really interesting thinking about what does this mean for where we are headed with AI tools, because frankly, with AI tools, any one person can literally do everything. It's almost kind of casual at this point where, a lot of AI creators are doing the music via Suno and Udio. They are doing the image work via Midjourney and Kriya and Flux and Mystic, right? And then they're doing the film work via Luma Dream Machine, Sora, Runway, Hailua, Kling, right? And then they're doing all the editing themselves, right? Via CapCut, Premiere Pro, DaVinci Resolve, Final Cut Pro, etc. So that entire process is completely touched by these artists, and so they're not necessarily involving a lot of people in it, for better and for worse. And so, to me, this unlocks this whole new world where auteur is almost like a common term. It's not this very like even in this Wikipedia page, it's like very, very specific, and there's only like a handful of people that people would list. At this point, auteurs are everywhere. Everybody's is a potential auteur because you can potentially manage every process of your creative process, right? Of your artistic process. So I think that's really exciting. What does it mean? Don't know, but and what does it mean for the industry, for art in general, for music in general, for film in general, where everybody can be an auteur and we're in this mess of stuff where everybody's creating. It's kind of amazing to me. Uh, and it allows us to potentially like enter more and more people's worlds. Because what is it about Wes Anderson? Like, it's like a stylistic moment that we get to enter when you see something that is like Wes Anderson-y, right? There's like it's some kind of like feeling that you get out of it, right? Like I mean, even let's look at like some images of this. Like these are just like unmistakably Wes Anderson. Like these colors, these pastels, and these moments. Like these some of that is even AI, right? Like these this feeling. Like what if everyone can come up with their own style and their aesthetic or their own musical genre and et cetera, et cetera, and it's representative of them, and how does that influence the kind of game theory of what's possible as all of these things kind of emerge simultaneously, where everybody can create their own artistic musical genre style, and they're interacting with everybody else kind of like idiosyncratic styles. I mean, I hope that's a very hopeful world that I'm thinking about, but it's going to happen at least at a smaller level, and definitely at a much larger level than what is happening currently, because the tools are just enabling that at scale. So curious what people think. Jump into the comments, let me know. Happy to react. Talk soon.